By this time, on this date, April 29th, in 1992, it was already on and popping. The riots, the revolt, the civil unrest, it was going on right now. Reginald Denny had already been beat up by the time I'm recording this. Because in the 1980s, the war on black people, disguised as the war on drugs, the war on guns, the war on gangs, the war on crime, was really a war on blacks, a war against black people. Law enforcement was able to buy houses, boats, jet skis from all the overtime they were doing. They were doing a lot of overtime on all these wars aimed at us. So by 1992, because of Latasha Harlins, because of the Rodney King beating, because of the homicide, the murder of Henry Pico, there were some key people who went out and said enough is enough. The peace treaty they had been working on, it unfolded. So now, as blacks come together in the PJs, in the Jordan Downs, and Nickerson Gardens, the police was fearful. So they shut everything down. They didn't want it to happen. They were scared what would happen if the blacks unite. What would really happen? So they organized and they strategized. The Sheriff Department, LAPD, Inglewood Police, Highway Patrol, they all came together. More overtime, more payment for them to control the black people in South Los Angeles. When, at that time, we were coming together as one to unite, but they shut it down. They didn't want to see it out of fear. So once again, the war was on. But this time it was even worse than it was before. Now the war is on, and check the stats for the city of Los Angeles in 1992 and the following year in 1993. The homicide rate was higher than it had ever been, ever. Why is that? You tell me. All these prisons that have been built, 34 prisons were built. 34 prisons have 3 or 4 yards. All the money that was invested into incarceration, more people benefited from that. So you ask me, why did they shut down the peace treaty? Why did they stop the organizing for the blacks to unite? Guys like Bo Taylor, Dwayne Holmes, Big Bull from Avalon, why did they want to stop them? Why were they attacking them? Why did all 3 of them end up going to jail and they were organizing for peace? You tell me why. But whenever there's a war, whenever there's conflict or chaos between 2 people, 2 nations, 2 communities, always look to see where's the third party. Where's that hidden hand that's keeping everything going? So now on the anniversary of the riots, the civil unrest, are they still benefiting from us? Are they still getting overtime? Let me tell you, in closing, the coroner's office stops the fire department, stops the private ambulance. It stops the first responders from taking people to the hospital. They tell them, hey, look, if that body is dead, pronounce it dead and wait. We gonna come get it. And you wonder why? Because your heart, your liver, your kidney, all your internal organs will be missing. They can only take your internal organs if you're alive. You get that? So they'll keep you alive just to take your body parts. And the coroner's office knows it. So the coroner's office don't want to get a body with no liver, no heart. They want to do an autopsy. They want to see everything. So I'm telling you right now, there are plenty of people who benefit off the fact that you want to cross the street and shoot your brother. You want to go across the railroad tracks and shoot somebody who looks just like you. The war on black people is no longer about the hidden hand. It's now all about us. We doing it ourselves on the anniversary of the 1992 riot.